Hey gang, hairball. Hey gang, it is I, your cat daddy, Jackson Galaxy. Today we are taking on cat body language. Cat body language 101. What should you know about your cat? Really know, because misinformation might lead to a scratch or a bite. Misinformation may lead to your cat's trying to tell you they're either overly excited, overstimulated, in pain, or very scared of something. So today we're just gonna start scratching the surface, as it is. So the first thing that we're gonna talk about today is the tail. There are things that we mistake about cats. And why do we do this? Because, let's say it all together, cats are not dogs. We look at cats through dog-colored glasses way too much, and we think just because a dog does something, well, it must be okay if a cat does it too. So let's take off our dog-colored glasses and let's put on our cat glasses. The wagging tail. That's the biggest one when we think about, well, dogs do it, so cats must be as happy as a dog when they're wagging their tail. Actually, completely the opposite. Whereas a dog wags their tail from excitement or happiness, and I know there's a dog trainer out there or a behaviorist who's like, oh God, the cat guy's getting it all wrong. But you know, from generally, right? With cats, let's look at them as energetic balloons, which is really what they are. They sleep for a good portion of the day. From that raw cat perspective, that ancestral perspective, to gather up energy for the hunt. Now they wake up and they don't have a release for that. And then once they start getting stimulated in a negative way, that balloon is full. And I always see the tail as sort of that air valve, the valve that just lets out that air, that energy from them. And so that's when they start getting agitated, you'll see them flick. Then, if they just don't get release at that point, but more energy comes in, the balloon is getting bigger and bigger. Now we're going from a flick to a wave. Then we're going from a wave to a full wag. And once you see that wag, kind people, step away from the cat, or give them a toy to play with, or give them some nice peace and quiet, because they are letting you know, I am absolutely agitated. And so that is when I say, not a dog, we put on our cat-colored glasses instead of our dog-colored glasses. Another thing that you'll see a lot of the times to let you know that your cat is agitated or just not liking what you're doing for some reason or another, the ears beginning to flatten down and maybe flick at the same time. That's agitation. What I call back lightning, when you see the little ripples go down their back, that also, sign of agitation, sign of displeasure, but in a sort of activated way. These are ways to let you know that your cat is verging on overstimulation. The more you do that full-bodied pet, the more you're gonna start seeing the tail flick, the more you're gonna start seeing the ears flick or flatten down. They're getting ready, and that is not a choice. Let me just put this in the most plain terms. Your cat is not making a choice when they're getting overstimulated. Their body is making that call for them. So that when you say, my cat doesn't like me because he attacks me, and I'm petting him one second and he's attacking me the next, no, you're overstimulating him and his body responds. So do keep an eye on your hand. When you're petting down the head to the tail, watch out for the tail flick, watch out for the ear flick, the back lightning, eyes start to dilate. It's time to step away from the cat. It's time to play with them. It's time to just give your hand a break, or they're gonna break your hand. Ooh, that's a good one. Another example of dog-colored glasses and cat body postures is being on our back. When a dog rolls over on their back, yes, it is a submissive position, but it's also, we see it as an invitation to rub the belly. Cats, totally different thing. Yes, the original impetus there is kind of dog-like, because they are showing you their most vulnerable part, right? The midline, right down here. If a cat is in the wild and they come upon a fox or some other form of predator, you think they're gonna roll over on their back and invite that animal to eviscerate them down the middle? No, of course not. But when they roll over on their back to you, that is a display of trust. That trust means love, but that doesn't mean rub the belly. that is an invasion. Now, of course, there's plenty of you out there who are gonna be like, hey, my cat loves it when I rub their belly. Fine, I get it. But by and large, that cat hug means I'm vulnerable to you, but don't rub it in, literally. Get it? If you rub, you're gonna overstimulate. You're also gonna invite the all four paw wraparound and the which is just being overstimulated, so why push it? Besides those two things, there are general tail body postures that mean certain things. For instance, if your cat is walking around in that absolutely mojito cat pose, that one that is just purely confident, happy, and what is the day going to bring me today? Let's go find out. That tail is up and with a little crook at the end of it. What I call the backwards question mark up at the top. That lets you know that the cat is confident, ready to explore, happy to see you. In fact, once that little question mark goes up straight like this, now I'm excited. I am now thrilled about what life has to bring me, okay? Now as the tail starts going down, we start getting a little more, not hesitant, but a little more on our guard, right? Once we get to sort of parallel to the ground, we're exploring. And we're exploring, we could be doing it confidently, but it's more of a, what's going on here? Now as we get down like this, we might be getting a little scared. Something bad might be happening. Of course, the worst one is tucked all the way under the body, and that is, I am really scared right now. Something bad is happening. When the tail is up but bottle brushed out, any time a cat makes their fur big, they make themselves bigger, that is fear. I am trying to make myself bigger so that this thing that I'm coming in contact with knows that I'm not to be messed around with. So when you see a cat totally fluff their tail out, their body out, sometimes even adopting that Halloween cat posture, which is that sort of U shape to their whole body, again, they're making themselves big. And in making themselves big, they remind me of that kid on the block who was, kind of undersized and whatever compared to the rest of the kids, and he'd puff his chest out when he meets somebody new, just to make sure they knew that he was, a big guy. That's what your cat is doing as well. So just as a cat who's afraid is going to blow themselves up to sort of send the message that they're not afraid, also think of what it looks like when a cat makes themselves small. When a cat is threatened with something, a lot of times they will start to go a little bit showing their sides and a little bit compacted. Why? Two things. One, they can spring up and come at you. The other thing they can do is flip over on their back. And you might think that that's a submissive gesture. It is not a submissive gesture. That cat has the most power in their entire body in their hind legs. So if they go at you with bunny kicking with those hind legs and with those claws, they're gonna do some serious damage to whatever they choose to go to town on. Another thing that tells you if a cat is feeling threatened is when they pin their ears to the back of their head. Why are they doing that? Their body is telling them to do that because something is coming at them that if they get into a fight, they may get their ear ripped. So they're gonna plant it to the side of their head, prepping for the fight at the very same time. Of course, it's not a choice when they do this. It's in their body. They have a sympathetic nervous system. If something like fear hits them, poof, out they go. Of course, I just moved on from tails to the rest of their body, so let's talk about eyes and ears. Those are also very easy ways to know if your cat is relaxed or on guard about something. And on guard might mean, hey, I'm hunting something. In that case, a lot of your cat's attention is going to be pointed forward. So that's ears. Eyes are focusing in. And that's really key. When their eyes turn into little slits, they are paying very close attention to what's right in front of them, as opposed to when their eyes get dilated. Now I'm looking all over the place. Cats have incredible peripheral vision. By widening out their pupils, they're also getting a full lay of the land. They're letting in as much light as possible in a general way, just to make sure that everything is cool here. I've got escape routes, but yet I see what's going on. Now I get thin in here and I am looking at you, buddy. I am focused in on you. My whiskers are focused in this way. I'm getting as much information as I possibly can. I mean, this is where cats turn into like the predator, people, because all of the things that have evolved over the years of the centuries to make cats the superior hunter, that is whiskers, getting the general temperature in the air and focusing in, trying to get information that way. Eyes, ears, everything, every hair on their body focused in on their prey. But if your cat is doing that to your ankle, you know what's happening, right? Your cat gets down low, they start to stalk, they're hunting. These are things that are naturally present in cats in the wild. When we put them in a home and we start seeing these things, whether they're directed at you or another cat or a child, for instance, I can tell you right now, they're treating those beings as prey, and that usually doesn't wind up too good for the one who's being preyed upon. It tells you right off the bat, your cat has a lot of excess raw cat energy. It's time to play with your cat, guys. Another thing that expresses actually confident ownership of territory, cat mojo, that your cat is expressing their mojito self, is scratching or coming up against something. Remember, if a cat comes up to you, starts rubbing up against you with their body or their cheeks or the top of their head or even making biscuits on you, these are ways of getting scent on you. There are scent glands all over a cat's body, including between their paws, and they're just getting it all over you. And that means I own you / I love you in cat language. So take that for what it is. It's a compliment. Even when cats scratch on a surface, yes, it is destructive to furniture, etc., but it's also a sign of ownership. If a cat comes up to you and they start doing this to you, again, it's not usually scratching, but it's about a little more biscuit making. Smurgling is also very much an I love you for different reasons. You can see the Cat Daddy dictionary on smurgle right there, but again, it's confident ownership. It is confidence in the raw cat with the person that they're with or the place that they're at. I mean, what is unconfident body posture when it comes to a person or a thing? It's that backing up and peeing on it. That's when you know things are not confident. You know, this is one of those times where as I get ready to wrap up a video, I'm like, man, I am not done. There's a million other things I could be talking about. Well, on the positive side of that, we'll film a million other videos, maybe not a million, but a bunch more, getting more into depth with some of these body postures. And if you look on this channel, you are going to find that this stuff already exists. So dive a little deeper in. Nothing stands in a vacuum when it's about a cat's body. All of these things work in beautiful harmony. It really is a miracle of physiology and behavior all rolled up into one fuzzy, amazing looking ball of cat. So there you have it, you guys. Learn more for yourself. Learn more here. If you've got some ideas about what you'd like to see on this channel, that's what the comments are for. Pass this on to somebody who just got a cat for the first time in their lives so they don't get scratched up, so that they know what I love you means and I don't love you so much means and how to get them to love it, etc., etc. Pass this on to somebody else. Don't forget to subscribe because that's how you know when the next volume of these cat behaviors are coming your way. All right, you guys, until next time, light and love and mojo to you.